Hi guys, Artie here, and lately Nickelodeon and their parent company, Paramount for that matter, cannot catch a break lately. I've noticed that many of the underlying issues that were apparent weren't exposed until the Quiet on Set documentary was released. Not going to go into too much detail about what went on behind the scenes in the creation of the live-action sitcoms, since you all already know and many people have already covered it. And I want to avoid possibly getting demonetized. To briefly sum it up, Dan Schneider, who was involved in almost every Nick sitcom such as iCarly and Drake and Josh, treated the crew horribly and was a disgusting creep on set. I highly recommend watching Discovery ID's Quiet on Set documentary for more information, as much of this info has recently come out. Some of it has been common knowledge for some time, such as Dan's inappropriate tendencies towards minors, but there's more layers to this than you think. This is nothing new. Viacom is a scumbag company. Back in 2007, they were worried that YouTube was going to catch on and kill their cable networks, so over at Viacom headquarters, they had their staff upload episodes to shows they owned onto the site, and then turned around and sued them. Fortunately, Viacom lost, but they continued to rig and abuse the copyright system for years, not understanding the concept of fair use. However, ever since they became Paramount Global, they chilled out on being overprotective of their properties. Hell, at one point, Viacom wanted to buy YouTube. They've had a rough relationship over the years. Remember how I made that video back in November talking about Viacom networks such as Comedy Central, MTV, and Nickelodeon having terrible and repetitive schedules? Well, the scheduling has not improved at all and has actually gotten more attention recently ever since Nickelodeon was exposed. My good friend Hyperschedules on Twitter posted the Nicktoon schedule for the final week of March and it has 8.6 million views and 4,000 likes, as of writing. If you're watching this, congrats! Back on track, each Paramount-owned channel overplays certain programs. Nickelodeon spams movies, Nicktoon spams SpongeBob, Nick Jr. spams Paw Patrol, T-Nick spams Henry Danger, Paramount Network spams Bar Rescue and 2.5 Men, Comedy Central spams Seinfeld and The Office, MTV spams Ridiculousness, and MTV2 purely exists as an overflow channel for all the other Viacom networks. And I don't care enough about VH1 or MTV Classic to say anything about them. The point is Paramount is an absolute shit show right now. You know you're doing terrible when Warner Bros. Discovery is doing way better in terms of scheduling. In the past year, Cartoon Network got out of the rut and did a complete 180 and overhauled the schedule. Why does every Paramount-owned channel have bad schedules? Honestly, I don't know. If I had to guess, they're doing this intentionally to encourage more people to subscribe to Paramount Plus despite how glitchy, laggy, and slow the service is. If you don't believe me, in the last few months of Nick Rewind's existence, there was an ad notice on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen informing viewers to subscribe to the service and watch the shows there. Another possible explanation is that they're just too lazy and cheap to give a damn since cable is dying anyways, and want to get the highest ratings possible by spamming only the same few shows all day long. Doesn't help that Nickelodeon's only new show is Rock Paper Scissors. I almost forgot to mention Paramount Global is in roughly $14.6 billion in debt, and are desperately searching for a buyer. Originally there was a proposal for a WBD merger, but thankfully they vetoed it. There's been offers from smaller conglomerates, such as Apollo Global Management, but they've been shut down each time either because they keep lowballing or want to break up the company. I think Byron Allen, owner of Entertainment Studios and the Weather Channel, buying out Paramount is our best bet. So while I was working on this video, I learned that Paramount purged nearly a dozen Nickelodeon series, mainly post-2019 shows such as Big Nate. I'm shocked at why and how they purged almost all their new shows except for the Patrick Star Show and Camp Coral. So now they barely have any new content. Perhaps this was done to get even with their losses and mitigate their crippling debt, or maybe in response to the documentary? Sadly, they are taking the HBO Max route to the situation. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Paramount completely falls apart and goes bankrupt. The huge debt, trying to find a new company to buy them out, the Quiet on Set documentary that exposed them, the cable channels with awful and repetitive schedules, purging of content on streaming, and the bad treatment of staff. I really think this company could go out of business. They've had to compromise and start licensing Nick shows in Netflix and even purged dozens of less popular series from Paramount Plus. I wonder how much longer Paramount has until either the company is broken back up again, just like what happened in 2006, are bought out by another company, or are ultimately shut down. That's if the US government doesn't bail them out. Before I close out, you know what the biggest travesty of all was? The CEO of then Viacom CBS promised to bring back Nick on CBS, but of course they never did. They instead stuck with the dull, Lytton programming. No, but seriously, Paramount is in full panic mode right now. Viacom and CBS merged in 2019, later rebranded the Paramount Global in 2021, and now may be on the brink of collapse. Not saying it will, but if it ever results in the network ceasing operations in the future, they will have to license their shows to other networks and services. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, and check out other videos on the channel. You may like them. What do you believe will be the fate of Nickelodeon and/or Paramount? Let me know in the comments.